Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Tiffany, and today we are continuing your highly requested films in May with the murder mystery classic film, The Thin Man. Okay, so The Thin Man was directed by W.S. Woody Van Dyke, released in 1934, starring William Powell and Myrna Loy, with other notable performances by Maureen O'Sullivan, Henry Wadsworth, and Nat Pendleton. Okay, so on to a quick synopsis of the film. It says, this story is of a retired detective who, while spending much of his time managing his wife's considerable fortune and consuming quantities of alcohol, is asked to follow the trail of a missing inventor. Now, although reluctant to interrupt his holiday in Manhattan, he is persuaded to investigate by his wife's craving for adventure. And together, they embark upon a case that leads to the disclosure of deception and murder. Alright, so at this point we are going to get into some historical background. For those of you who want to jump right onto the film reaction, go for it. But for those of you who want to stay and listen, we're going to get right into it. Okay, so this film was based on a novel of the same name written by Dashiell Hammett, published in 1934, and it actually went on to be a bestseller and highly reviewed. So, of course, talks of making it into a film were starting to come up. Yeah, we're starting to come up. So at this point, MGM had bought the film rights for about $14,000. And at the time, as these big studios usually do, they did not see a whole lot of worth in this film. So they thought that it was going to be a B picture, not really an A-lister picture. However, Woody Van Dyke took quite the interest in this story, and because he had good rapport with MGM, the studio heads just decided to let him have a chance and give him a shot at this film. So Van Dyke quickly went to work. He actually asked the screenwriter duo and married couple, Albert Hackett and Frances Goodrich, to write the screenplay. Now, he asked the duo to focus more on the relationship between Nick and Nora, the two main characters, as opposed to the murder mystery. So that's what they did. They wrote more into the relationship of the two main characters. Van Dyke really wanted Powell and Loy together because he had directed them in previous projects and really saw a chemistry that he could build upon. But unfortunately, at the beginning, the studio did not want them. Again, because Van Dyke had good rapport with the studios, they eventually relented and they cast Powell and Loy as the two main leads. This actually proved to be a really good idea on Van Dyke and MGM's part, because one of the most enjoyable parts of this film was actually the relationship between Powell and Loy's character. People really loved their chemistry and their wittiness together. So yeah, it was a really good idea on the parts of Van Dyke and the studio. Now, The Thin Man went on to be nominated for 4 Oscars at the Academy Awards, including Best Actor, Best Directing, Best Writing, and then of course Outstanding Production. But unfortunately, it was completely beat out by Frank Capra's It Happened One Night, which we literally just watched, which I thought was crazy. So it won no awards at the Oscars, but where it lacked awards, it made up for in sequels. So over the next 13 years, 5 more movies would come out following the events and characters of The Thin Man, and people just loved these films, again, because of the characters, and then also these characters were depicted as wealthy characters, and this film originally came out during the Great Depression. So, like Top Hat, it was a way for people to kind of escape the harshness of what was going on in real life. Okay, on to some interesting facts. So Dashiell Hammett actually worked as a detective for the Pinkerton Agency. So this novel was based on a lot of his experiences working as a detective. Van Dyke had really good rapport with the studios, but that was actually because of his speedy, cost-efficient directing style. He was actually known as One-Shot Woody. And this film, the entirety of this film was shot in 2 weeks, which I thought was absolutely crazy. I'd never heard of anything like that. So yeah, that's why he had really good rapport with the studios. All right, and that is that for the historical background of this film. I'm very excited to get into this film and see how all of these themes are going to be working together. But before we do, y'all already know the deal. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. Yes, everyone, because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We are almost there. We are so close. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. All right, everyone, it is time to get your snacks, get your drinks, and let's get into The Thin Man. So as you can tell, I am actually in different clothes and my makeup looks a little different. That's because it is 6 days later. So this week has been quite crazy, but nonetheless, we are back 6 days later watching The Thin Man. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for your patience during this week. It has been one wild one, but you know, we all have a wild week once in a while. So thank you so much for your patience. Okay, let's get into it. I'm excited to get into this film. You know what I thought was really strange though is the fact that this film was published in 1934, yet the movie came out also in 1934, which means that this was so popular that they decided, what the heck, it's not even been out for a year, we're just gonna go ahead and make the movie, you know? I feel like every part of this film was really just like done, like there was no wait time.
Your daughter's here, Mr. Wynand. Mr. Wynand! Mr. Wynand!
2 weeks work gone for nothing. Get your things, get out, you're through, get out!
Yes, I'm going.
Get out!
I'm going.
I think word of advice is to never interrupt an inventor when he is like in his mode, or really any creator that's in their mode. Never interrupt them. You will get yelled at.
Dad!
How are you? What, another young man?
Try to remember him, because
What a man.
he's going to be your son-in-law.
And they're getting married. Oh, that's sweet. I just can't believe that they shot all of this in 2 weeks. That for me is like, wow. That is wild.
Dad, Mother's planning on a big church wedding.
Yeah, she would. When's it going to be? I'm leaving town tonight.
Where are you going?
That's a secret. I can't even tell you, my dear.
Oh, man. Every single good murder mystery always starts with some sort of, you know, secret meeting or secret journey that no one has to know about. And then suddenly they're gone. It's like a trope of every, you know, like good murder mystery.
I didn't know that you invented that smelting process, Mr. Weiner.
Look, this is the first metal that came
She's
through.
so proud
3
of
kinds
her
ore.
dad.
Gold, silver, copper.
Oh, she's so proud of her father. I love that. There definitely is something so natural about this first scene. You just really get that father-daughter bond. And so I just wonder if maybe they were able to bond off camera or bond off screen, you know? Because it really feels like that.
Hello, Mr. Macaulay.
Oh, how are you? Here, get under this.
No, we're taking your cab.
You wouldn't drive slowly so you don't get a tip.
That's okay, sweetheart. I got it anyway.
That looks like the guy from a few films that we've seen on this channel. Miracle on 34th Street, you know, like the mean Mr. Sawyer, the mean psychiatrist, and then also one of the senators from Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. I'm gonna look up if that's him because I feel like it is him. Ah, it is the same guy. Oh my god. Yeah, Porter Hall. His name is Porter Hall. And it looks like he's in other films that we'll be watching on this channel in the future. So I'm very excited. Yeah, that's so cool. Again, I love seeing actors that like I've seen in previous films just because it's like, oh my god, I know you. I've seen you in another movie.
Did you get my money?
I do wish you'd tell me where you're going.
I'm not telling anyone. Thanks and goodbye.
Well, what'll I do if something comes up?
Settle it yourself. What have I got a lawyer for?
Okay, so Mr. Macaulay is his name, and that's his lawyer. Got it.
You're in the wrong place, buddy.
Am I? I want to get those bonds.
You told me to sell those a long time ago.
No,
I
he
never
didn't.
tell you to sell those.
Okay, so what I'm gathering from this is that Miss Wolfe, or Julia Wolfe, is Clyde Wynant's girlfriend or mistress that I think, or like, oh, because I remember the daughter was talking about him having a secretary, right? So this must have been his secretary that he cheated on his wife with, and then his wife told him to leave, and so now they're kind of a thing. But we're realizing that Miss Wolfe was really just after Wynant's money, less so his heart.
I'll give it to you. 25,000. That's all I've got.
You're going to return every cent of it.
I can't. I haven't got it.
What'd you do with the rest?
I never had it.
Shady stuff. Already feeling the shady stuff going on in this film.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
He's like, oh, that must have been one of her lovers.
Hello.
Always with these pre-code films, I always feel like there's like a touch of modernness to it. And I talk about it every single video with pre-code films. There's like, it feels reminiscent of something you'd see in modern times, as opposed to movies from the 40s that were more censored and they feel a bit more polished. These feel a little bit more realistic, which I have really come to love about pre-code films, because you get that aspect of, oh, this was a film from the films from the 1920s, or in this case, films from the 1930s. So you get that feeling of history, like you're watching a slice of history, but then that added bonus of like, oh, this is actually entertaining because I can relate this to something that I've seen in modern times. So that's what I really love about pre-code films.
You don't need to tell me. I have a pretty good idea.
What are you going to do?
Ooh, he gave her the scariest look. Oh my goodness. And he's off. I feel like this film really does adopt certain elements of film noir, though I feel like it doesn't feel like a film noir, but you know, like in this scene, there's like the darkened street and the underlying dark themes, little hints of film noir in this film.
Stop worrying about your father. He'll turn up all right. He's just forgotten. You know how he forgets everything.
No, he never forgets a promise to me.
Oh my goodness. All of these allergies these days, I swear. So the daughter is already worried. So from that dialogue, we get that now Mr. Wynand has gone missing. Ooh! It's William Powell!
Always have
I
rhythm
love
in your
William
shaking.
Powell.
Oh, in Manhattan, you shake to foxtrot.
There's something so like suave about William Powell that, well, I've only seen him in one film, okay, so I can't be like, oh my god, but there, just from the one film that I've seen him in, My Man Godfrey, there's just something so like, there's like a suaveness about him. It's like a dapper, like I just think it's something that's unique to actors in the 1930s, because I see it in like, you know, in Clark Gable and Fred Astaire especially, and just other actors that I've seen from the 1930s. There's just this dapperness that comes with, it's like a sort of like swag, but I don't know what you would call it, charisma. Yeah, like a type of like charisma. Oh?
Hello there. You don't remember me. I'm Dorothy Wynand. You worked once on a case for my father.
Yeah, some nut wanted to kill him.
So I'm noticing from Maureen O'Sullivan, there's something about her, like she, like in her interactions with the other actors, there's something that is just so natural. Like she's not acting, like she's really living in her character and living in the moment. Almost as if she's kind of molded into her character. There's definitely something very natural about her that I really like. Oh, it's Myrna Loy! Oh, and she falls! Oh no!
Hurt by him?
Hello, sugar.
He's dragged
Hello,
me into every
sugar.
gin mill on the block.
Oh, I love the way he says sugar. He's like, sit down, sugar.
Lie down.
He's not listening!
Stand up.
Oh, and he liked it.
Oh, that's so cute! Oh my goodness.
Pretty girl.
Yes, she's a very nice type.
You got types?
Only you, darling. Lanky brunettes with wicked jaws.
Y'all, oh my god, the wittiness in their dialogue is like, whoa. Their dialogue is so like juicy. It's like, it's super witty, super quippy, sarcastic. I really love it. And then also their chemistry is electrifying. Like we haven't even seen them in that many scenes together, and you already feel their chemistry.
Say, how many drinks have you had?
This will make 6 martinis.
All right. Will you bring me 5 more martinis? Leo, line them right up here.
Yes, ma'am.
5 more martinis. Oh my goodness. I don't even think I could eat. I don't even think I could drink 1 martini. Oh yeah, she's feeling those martinis.
Hit me.
The last martini. How about a little pick-me-up? Come in.
Dorothy told me you were here. I was going to telephone, but...
Oh, that's all right.
I don't think I've ever seen Porter Hall smile before. Like, ever. He always has a frown on his face in his characters.
What's Mimi up to, Mr. Charles?
Me? Oh, Dorothy's mother.
I wanted to find out if you were, sleuthing for her.
I think that's why I didn't recognize him at first, because he always has like a frown on his face. And now in this scene I get to see him like smile and like, I don't know, be jolly, I guess. It's very different. But he has a really nice smile.
So what's the fuss about? Is he in hiding?
You know as much about it as I do. I haven't seen him in 3 months. He is. Well, where is he now?
Look at their playfulness. You can tell when two actors have worked together. Totally see that in Myrna and William. Like, you can tell that they have shared the screen together in prior films, just based on their playfulness and the fact that they're so comfortable improvising with each other. Just from this scene, you really get that sense.
He's back in town. Whining.
I'm going to telephone that poor child.
Asta!
Oh my gosh, Asta is so freaking cute. I cannot. So, funny story. Everyone in my family has some sort of allergy to an animal, whether it be a dog, a cat. So I've never had like a pet. I just think it would be so much. It's fun to watch people have like pets. I sound so sad, like a little violinist playing. But one day, hopefully, I'll be able to adopt a dog because I really want a dog.
Hello? What is it? Has he found him? You just want money, and you haven't any right to any more.
I wonder if I may see you.
Yes, of course.
Mind, Miss Wolf is expecting
Oh,
me.
there's that guy again. He seems real shady. I don't know. I don't trust him. Like, he looks like the guy who like lurks in alleyways behind the wall looking at you in the dark. Like, he looks scary. He's a shady guy.
Miss
Ooh,
Wolf!
it's unlocked.
Quick! Send somebody up here right away. Something terrible has happened.
Well, that was a turn of events. I bet that shady guy did it, because he was being too shady.
Where you been?
Out making money?
Let's see it.
I haven't got it yet. But I'll get it.
Okay, so that guy, we can assume that guy killed Julia Wolf, because clearly it was a hit of some sort. Somebody did not want her to talk.
So you say you haven't seen or heard from him in that time?
I said he hadn't written me.
Oh, then you have heard from him.
He left word for me to meet him at the plaza.
What time was that?
About 3.
Did you go?
Yes, but he didn't show up.
That was a cool scene where we got to see the investigators kind of interrogating Macaulay, and literally like they're just rapid firing back and forth. I thought that was really cool, just because nowadays everything is so intense and like, where were you last night? And it's just like emotions and drama. But this one, it's just like, you know, naming them off and just rapid fire. I really liked that.
I know he'll turn up as soon as he sees this in the papers. You can't think he had anything to do with it, Mr. Guild. He wasn't the kind of man that would...
You know what they fought about that night he went away?
I didn't know they had a fight.
So, okay, so the investigators think that Wynant murdered or put the hit out for Julia Wolf. Like, he's the one that's calling the shots, but he's also not there. He's still missing. Okay. I mean, he would have motive, right? Because she was stealing his bonds that were reserved for his family. So that could be the motive, I suppose.
Did you,
Gilbert is so intense.
Did you see anything in Miss Wolf's hand?
Oh, no.
That someone had forced open the girl's hand after she'd been killed.
Freaking Gilbert. Gilbert's the type of guy that, like, he's like the teacher's pet that tells the teacher, oh, by the way, did you remember to pick up the homework from last night? Or didn't we have a test today? I'm just like, Gilbert. He's like a bookworm. Oh, man. What is Mimi doing? Is that a safe? Why is everyone in this film shady?
What have you got?
There!
Oh.
Oh.
It's the metal that he invented in the beginning. Oh, why did Julia have that?
Very welcome.
Thank you. This is a grand party.
Eyeballs and cocktails, the long and short of it.
The amount of alcohol that's being consumed in this film is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Talk about a good time.
Murder. Police have found out that the beautiful blonde secretary was once a gangster's girl. They are now looking for the gangster. Clyde Wynant, the girl's employer, is still missing. This case is developing into
Can't you fellas ever think of anything but business?
Oh, so now they're trying to paint Clyde Wynant as the bad guy. He's like, I'm literally just trying to enjoy my Christmas holiday with my wife, my dog, and a couple of my friends. I'm not here to do work. I'm here to have fun. It's Manhattan, for crying out loud.
Well, it sounds like a good case. Girl mysteriously murdered. Nobody knows who did it. They haven't found any clues.
I don't want to hear anything about it.
There's just this sense of like, they trust each other and they love each other. And they're really inseparable. Like, you truly get the sense that they are soulmates. And honestly, I really do think that it was a great idea to center this story around them. It was just perfect for the time that it had come out in. Because again, there was so much devastation going on with the Great Depression, with the Dust Bowl. So to be able to see the love between these two characters, the trust, the lightheartedness, the funniness, playfulness, it's like, I really see now why they decided to center this story more around Nick and Nora versus the murder mystery. It makes sense. I think they did a fantastic job with this.
Nick, I've got to see you.
Oh, there's Dorothy.
Alone. I went down there to ask her where he was, and she wouldn't tell me, so I shot her.
Which way she fall?
She fell over backwards.
So there's no way she could have done it. She doesn't even know the details of the murder. Wow, so again, you really get this from her character. You really get that she loved her father. And now that we know that the media is trying to paint him as the bad guy, I feel like Dorothy is trying to like protect her father by saying that she murdered Miss Wolf. And the way that Marino Sullivan is playing her, it's very believable and realistic. Oh, and oh no! She's like, what are you doing behind the door? And then their exchange, so cute. That's just from their characters. That's exactly how they would react to that situation. Like, so fitting.
You see, my father was a sexagenarian.
He was?
Yes, he admitted it.
Hey, but we can't put that in the paper.
Well, why not?
Oh, you know how they are. Sex.
Sex? What?
Well, then just say that he was 60 years old.
Is that what that means?
Of course.
Okay, so a sexagenarian is a person who is from 60 to 69 years old. Wow, I've never heard that term used before in my life. And it sounds like something that is not what you think it sounds like, which I'm assuming is why, like, that's the joke of that scene. But that's funny. Like, I've never heard sexagenarian. That sounds like something else.
Hello? Mr. Charles? I'd like to lay a proposition before you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about Julia Wolf.
Oh, so he does know something about Julia. I feel like he's the one that killed her. But whose hand was that? Did you see the person who hung up the phone? There's somebody else in on this.
Oh, Nicky, I love you because you know such lovely people.
Oh, their chemistry is so good. I do like, though, the fact that they decided to kind of have that kind of chaotic scene where you see the Wynant family coming into the Charles' Christmas party, and, you know, there's this sense of like merry time, and they're having a party, and it's kind of like, oh, no cares in the world. But that contrasted with, okay, we need you to work on this case because I don't know where my father is, or I don't know where my ex-husband is, and like we need you. So there's this like sense of urgency contrasted to this sort of like blasé, not a care in the world type mentality. And I think in that scene, I kind of liked seeing those two opposing elements coming together. It was very well constructed. I liked it.
Did you hear a knock?
Yes?
Mr. Charles here?
Yes.
I gotta talk to him, that's all, but I gotta do that.
All right, come in.
Hold on. Why are you opening the door for a shady man in the middle of the night, and then to go further and let him into your house? What?
I think those blankets must be a little cockeyed. Right, Esther?
I told you, shady. He literally has a gun pointed at him. Why are you letting a shady man in your home in the middle of the night? What?
Hey, would you mind putting that gun away? My wife doesn't care, but I'm a very timid fellow.
You idiot. Ask him.
But the fact that he's so, like, he's so nonchalant about the whole situation. He's like, oh, here we go again. like this has happened before or something.
See ya, but listen, what's the law doing to me? Did they think I did it, or was it just something else
How
to
is
pin
he
on
supposed
me?
to know that?
If I knew, I'd tell you. I don't know anything about it. Ask the police.
Poor Nick. He's like, what? How do I know any of this stuff? Like, I am literally just trying to have a holiday with my wife and my dog. I have no idea what the police are up to. Why are you coming to me in the middle of the night, pointing a gun at me in my own bedroom? Bro.
Open up, police!
Why, you two-timing?
Oh.
So give me that bottle, will you?
What knocked her out?
I did. She was on the line of fire.
I thought she got shot. Everything happened so quickly, I didn't see it. Oh my God.
You darn fool, you didn't have to knock me out. I knew you'd take him, but I wanted to see you do it.
Yeah?
Nicky, are you hurt?
Oh, he just grazed me, that's all.
You are.
Oh, Nikki got shot. What? Man, that happened so quickly. I have no idea what happened.
Why, Nicky, this is from Clyde Wynant. He says, will you take charge of investigation on Julia Wolfe murder?
I still don't think that Clyde, I get the motive of, him wanting to kill Miss Wolfe for stealing his money, which I still think is, the way that he came off, he was not the type of man to, act out of that type of rage. So I just don't feel like he's the one who set up the murder of Miss Wolfe. It just doesn't seem like his character to do so, which leads me to believe that someone is framing him for this.
Police. For me? Hello? Where? Allentown.
Again, very interesting that they kept the focus in on Nick. I think that is kind of like a subtle way of telling the audience that this story really does belong to Nick and Nora, less so the murder mystery, because I am getting that sense, like I said in the intro, where this screenplay was really tailored for Nick and Nora Charles. And I think that camera angle, or at least that focus shot, really kind of gave the audience that confirmation that, yes, there is a murder mystery in this film, but this film really is about the adventures of Nick and Nora Charles. So I like that subtle message that Van Dyke was telling the audience.
Wynant's tried to commit suicide. They want me to go down and identify him.
Oh, so Wynant was trying to commit suicide?
I guess this changes the whole story, doesn't it?
I mean, I guess, yeah, that would make sense because he'd be guilty over... But see, that doesn't make sense because why would you call a hit on your mistress and then, try and kill yourself? That doesn't... Something is not adding up. There's something that's not adding up about that.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, the mystery's all gone. Well, but Wynant.
I don't believe he did it. No reason, just a hunch. But I'm going to find out. I'm tired of being pushed around.
Yes, so now Nick Charles is about to be on the case, which means things are about to happen. Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what he discovers.
Anything you want to know?
What about the suicide?
Oh, that was a phony. The boys didn't even have to get down.
Yes, I thought it might be. From now on, they're going to think that every thin man with white hair is Wynant.
Oh, so the thin man is referring to Wynant. Got it. That's the thin man. All right. That makes sense. Okay. I was wondering, I'm like, what does the thin man mean? But the thin man is Clyde Wynant. Got you.
Wynant went to Julia's apartment and found Morelli there. Lets his lawyer go ahead and give her money to give to him so that she'll think it's all blown over. Then when she isn't expecting it, he lets her have it.
So it's a crime. Okay, so they're trying to say it's a crime of passion, which still doesn't make sense because that doesn't seem like that would be Wynant's character. I don't know.
What about Nunheim? Did you know that he's been hanging around Julia?
Let's look into that.
I think you better let us go alone.
Catch me letting you go alone.
She's like, try again. I'm going with you. I'm like, you are not about to get yourself hurt and have me halfway across town. I am going with you on this case. Try again. Oh, that's the creepy guy.
Sit
He
down,
looks
Nick.
scared.
Where were you the afternoon she was knocked off?
So you don't think I had anything to do with it?
Where were you?
Wow, he is giving an Oscar award-winning performance here. I think he had something to do with it.
I remember where I was. That's the afternoon. Wait a minute. I'll show you.
I'm phoning your office so they can send out a man to trail him.
Give me that phone. Give me that phone.
Yeah, he's gone. Told you, he's shady, bro.
Now look, if you want me to play dumb anymore, I want 5,000 more. 5,000 and I'll blow town today.
He's shady. What? Wait a second. Wait. Did they just shot him off? Wow. In broad daylight, no less. Wow. And that happened so quick because then there was just like a quick transition. Wow. Okay.
Dory.
Oh, her nickname's Dory.
Please don't cry.
Crazy.
Dorothy, listen to me. I love you. Do you understand that? I love you.
Tommy.
No, don't send Tommy away. This is the time to hold on to him. Oh my God.
You're wrong about all of your children being murderers. Now, I've studied the Mendelian law of inheritance. Only 1 out of 4 of your children will be a murderer. Now, the thing for you to do would be just have 3 children.
Gilbert, literally bad timing, Gilbert. Seriously, she already feels terrible that her father is being branded a murderer and that she could have murderous offspring. Just bad timing, bro. Bad timing.
I took it from her hand. It was Mr. Wynant's watch chain.
Wynant's ex-wife produces murder evidence.
Man, they are just slandering him in the media. I still feel like that's too easy. I don't think it was him. But I mean, now the damage is done because now everyone thinks it's him. So how do you reverse that?
I'm going down to Wynant's shop. I want to find out why it's closed.
All right, go ahead. But I think it's a dirty trick to bring me all the way to New York just to make a widow of me.
Goodbye, sugar.
Oh, they're so cute. Oh, you really get the sense that they love each other. I love that.
Nick!
Huh?
Take care of yourself.
Well, I do believe the little woman cares.
Oh.
I don't care. It's just that I'm used to you, that's all.
She loves him. She's like, you better come home to me. I am not going to be made a widow. Oh my God, I love them.
Oh, John? This is Nick Charles. I'm up in Wynant's shop. Well, I found something. It's a body.
Why is Mr. Wynant staying away? Like, what is preventing him from coming back home? Like, I get it, his invention, but like, why is he still gone? That's the part that I'm not understanding. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching to see, but I feel like at this point he should have come home.
Wonder what Wynant had against this one. DWR. Say, that case you worked on, that man who threatened to kill Wynant, what was his name?
Rosebreen.
So they were saying that Roseberry, the one who, because Nick had worked with the Wynants prior to this because somebody was trying to kill Clyde Wynant before, and that we just found out was Roseberry, who was trying to murder Wynant for his invention, or they're saying that Wynant stole Roseberry's invention, but nobody ever saw Roseberry. Now they're saying that Wynant killed off Roseberry, and somehow Julia Wolfe knew about it, so that's why Wynant killed Julia Wolfe, and then somehow the guy that got shot in broad daylight knew about it, so that's why he got killed off too. So I guess it's like a type of like revenge. I don't know. I feel like that's too convoluted. I still feel like Wynant didn't kill anybody.
No, I wanted you to stay here and find Wynant.
I did find him.
What do you mean?
He was down in his shop.
Nick!
That was his body that was down there.
Oh my God, so that was Wynant's body. So they're saying that Clyde was killed. That like was his body in the shop. What? I knew it. I knew he wasn't the murderer. I knew there was something else to this. Okay. So then who killed Clyde Wynant? Oh my God, I feel so invested.
What things make you so sure?
Well, take the clothes, for instance. They were very carefully preserved, and the body was just as carefully destroyed.
So the person who did this, who framed Clyde Wynant and killed him, was very meticulous about it. The way that, the clothes were preserved, the way that the body was destroyed. So whoever it was really knew how to fake a murder or like make it look like what it wasn't. Very interesting.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get the murderer. You want to see me take him?
Yes.
Have you got a nice evening gown? I'm going to give a party and invite all the suspects.
Like, I just love how, like, stylish all of this is. It's all, like... Because he easily could have just gone down to Guild and been like, oh, this is the guy who, killed Wynant and framed him for all these murders. But he's like, no, let's do it with a little bit of style. I really like that they decided to do that.
Now, let's see. You at the head.
And you on my right?
Thank you.
I'll put Macaulay here where he can help me. Ought to be a lady next to him. I've got Mimi.
This is really giving me, like, Clue vibes. Like, I feel like it's like Miss Peacock in the library with a knife type deal, Like, I feel like we're on, like, Clue vibes. I don't know. I love it. I love the dinner party. The whole idea of the dinner party, brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant.
Did you find Dorothy?
No, but she'll be here. Don't worry. Say, what you need is a drink.
He is so handsome. That's Henry Wadsworth. He's a fox.
Dorothy?
A party, huh?
Yeah.
Who is this random man?
Say, I'm getting out of here.
No,
you
stay.
If I stay, I know I'm going to take a poke at him.
Why would she... Okay, I understand Dorothy is going through. Her dad's being framed for murder, and now we just found out that he's dead, though she doesn't know that. And I get why she was, like, feeling some way about not wanting to get married during that time. But why did she take in a new man, knowing good and well she was in love with this boy right here? That don't make no sense.
Chris, I swear it isn't my fault. I tried to keep you out of this.
Take your hands off him.
And who are you?
Put it over there, sister. I was Mrs. Jorgensen before you were.
Okay, but the actor who plays Chris is quite tall. I dig that.
Clyde Wynant did not kill Julia. He didn't kill Nunheim or anyone.
Last night he came to see me in my apartment.
Tell him, Ed. I saw him, too. I was gazing in my crystal.
No, they're all lying. He is not alive anymore.
That was his body buried in the shop.
Nick!
Here, I'll take care
No,
of
who are you?
Will you kindly remove that?
He's like, will you kindly remove that? That's funny. The wittiness in this dialogue.
The murderer is right in this room, sitting at this table. This murderer is very clever. He studied this whole thing out very carefully.
Man, Nick is so good at what he does. Like, you can tell, like, he's a detective. Like, in his heart, he's a detective.
Well, after our hero had killed Wynant, he had a brilliant idea. He realized that he and Julia could still collect money. So he went to Julia, and he killed her.
So Julia knew the murderer of Clyde Wynant. So that's why the murderer killed her. That makes sense.
A bird named Nunheim, your friend. Nunheim had gone to call on her. He heard the shots. He saw the murderer leave. He knew who did it.
I know I'm like explaining this, but I feel like it's going to get lost in editing. So Nunheim, the one that the guy who got shot in broad daylight, he was like one of her, like a gentleman caller of Miss Wolfe. And so he was going to like over to her house, and then he found out, because he came right when she was being murdered. So he found out who the murderer was. So then, all right. So I'm trying to understand it too. So the same person who killed Wynant is the same person who killed Miss Wolfe, is the same person who killed Nunheim. So Nunheim was not the murderer. Okay. That was more for me, because I thought he was.
Mimi, who was it who told you to say you saw Wynant?
Jerry Little!
Well, there's your murderer.
Oh, it was Macaulay! Okay, so Macaulay was the murderer. What? Oh my god. That would make sense. Keep your enemies close. Like, that was the man that was his most trusted lawyer. And he's the one who stabbed him in the back. Dang. What a case, man. Woo!
You see you two.
Dickie, put Asta in here with me tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Oh no! You're taking the top bunk, Asta. Oh. That was such a cute movie. I really enjoyed it. I think I like the fact that they kind of blended kind of more darker themes of murder and sabotage and backstabbing. They kind of blended that with more of the lighthearted, you know, quippy, quick-witted dialogue of the screenplay. I think it was really a really good film. I absolutely loved William Powell and Myrna Loy. Like, that's pretty much a given. Their chemistry was electrifying. They really brought these characters to life. Like, I couldn't imagine two other, you know, actors playing the roles of Nick and Nora Charles. Like, they just really brought these characters to life. I really enjoyed that aspect. One thing that I wish is, because this really did feel like a faster paced movie, I wish that the pacing was just a little slower, just because in some parts I had to kind of like pause it and be like, okay, this is what happened. I need to like debrief about it. So I just wish that the movie gave more time for the audience to let everything sink in. But other than that, I think it was a fantastic film. Still don't know how they were able to achieve all that in 2 weeks. Beyond me. So yeah, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for recommending this film. I know I have seen this in the comments for months, so I'm glad that we finally had a chance to watch it together. And also, again, thank you so much for your patience for this video. I know it's coming out real late, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your patience. And yes, now to the outro. All right, everyone, that does it for this video. As always, if you liked it as much as I did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification to stay in the loop. All right, everyone. So in the next video, we are going to be continuing with your highly requested movies in May by watching one of the highly requested films on this channel. We are going to be watching Arsenic and Old Lace. I'm so excited to watch this film because there is a bunch of actors in this film that we've actually seen in previous films on this channel. So I'm excited to see them again in this film. Also, I've decided to do like a mini series in this grander monthly series. So this mini series is starting next week. We are going to be watching a few more of Cary Grant's films. So I have 4 in total films scheduled for us, all starring Cary Grant, just because I know a lot of you wanted to see more Cary Grant films on this channel. So this is the first of 4 films, and I'm very excited to be watching them with you. With that being said, if you haven't seen Arsenic and Old Lace, I suggest that you guys check it out either in its entirety or just read a quick synopsis of it online, and then come back and watch the reaction. Be ready with your movie facts and your movie insights, and we are going to be talking about it in the comments. As always, I want to encourage all of you just to check out that discussion tab, because I always post on there every now and then just in case there's any updates or changes to the schedule. I just want to thank all of you, all of the subscribers, all of the commenters, all of the viewers. This has been such a blast. I love doing these with all of you. Thank you so much. Everyone, please stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye, everybody.